Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
I grew up with some niggas. If you did bad, they kill you if they caught you. And you respected every lesson that they taught you. Said something fly, then killer, I would've fought you. But when you got on them, same niggas tried to extort you. That's what Big Lee did, man, I was not amused. That's Big L, brother, for those that's confused. Oh boy, video shoot, he came to light a fuse. Don't know if you heard or not, homie, but no more shining shoes. You ain't got the news, I had to back the crew out. Avon was with him, shit, we almost had a shootout, yeah. And the Hawk was out, I had niggas walk him out. This all facts, so what the fuck is Dot talking about? What you on, Hash Molly or Henny? Shout Smash Scully, R.P. Kenny. Todd Toast, Trail D, Capone, Curry. Hud 6, Fat Mac, can't forget Deli. You better double up, I'll lean you like a double cup. It's a Muslim woman, one big cover up. Reunion. Hello, y'all. I was selling crack on a private jet up in the hell and back. But no confusion, this a reunion. Hello, y'all. Welcome back. Get murder here. He counting money. He said, "Can man, the hell with rap. I'm only here to shit on niggas and piss on bitches. Welcome, ass. I bought jewelry and bikes, nigga. Black Benzes and white figures. Now I'm out here and I'm looking for more chandeliers and light fixtures. Nah, I don't like niggas. What's wrong with me? I'm a hype nigga, but this 44 turn to Michael Jordan. I look and say, take flight, nigga.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. This episode is sponsored by Underdog Fantasy. The app is an easy way to make some cash just by making picks on your favorite players. Underdog is available in more than 30 states, including California, Texas, and New York, just to name a few. Make sure to support the show by hitting the link in the bio and downloading the Underdog Fantasy app. Use code MACE, CAM, or STAT to get up to $250 in bonus cash with your first deposit and a special pick. It's the easiest way to win on Underdog. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, along with your hosts Mace and Cam.
Killer, what's good, baby?
Good. How you, man? Everything good?
Yeah, man.
That's what's up.
Really, really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
Care to explain, or that's that?
Nah.
That's that. Okay, and today we are joined with our analyst, Maurice Clarett.
Mo, what's up, man?
Yo,
Mo, what's good?
everything's all good, baby. Everything's all good.
Great.
What t-shirt are you wearing? Pause.
Just a black tee today. That's it.
You win nothing?
Nothing, man. It's been a busy week, man. I had shit to do. I don't know.
Mo, I don't like this. I don't like this for you starting off like this, you know? Normally, you have a shirt that tell us where you're going. I guess we're going black. Pause.
Black, and black.
Yeah, everybody got on black.
Except me. But it's okay. Okay, so let's get started. A big discussion is the state of Brock Purdy's contract. The team is deciding what his contract should be, and predictions are saying it could come in around 5 years and $325 million for an average of $65 million per season. Do you guys believe Brock Purdy is worth that much? Maurice first.
This may be the first time that the San Francisco 49ers hit somebody with the come on, my nigga. And Brock Purdy is about to, yeah, he's about to be the first person that they tell it to. And as you think about it, you know, he's really like a victim almost of his success. I'm pretty sure they see what what the team is doing with Brandon Ayuk with his contract negotiations. I'm pretty sure he's seen that they just paid Christian McCaffrey, and I'm pretty sure that he knows that Deebo Samuels is coming up. But the 49ers, you know, be it with Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch, and their whole organization, they believe that they win from the system that they put in place and all of the surrounding stars. So I don't see John Lynch or anybody within the ownership structure saying, "Hey, you know, we're about to go give this guy, you know, $60 million." I'm pretty sure they looked at what happened with Cleveland last year with Joe Flacco, and he went on a little run. And I'm pretty sure that they probably paid him a couple $1 million, and they feel like, you know, if we go ahead and get somebody else in here, they could do the same thing that Brock Purdy's doing. But I think he comes out for a lot less than $60 million.
Yeah, I think that when it comes to this amount of money, I think he should get his money, but I don't know if that's with 49ers because if he gets $325 million, is really not going to be anything left over to have a great team. When they start paying everybody else and then there's going to be somebody who's not going to be able to sign, who's actually going to be leaving the team. So this contract is very pivotal for where 49ers future success goes. He had a good year last year. I know OJ would hate this, that he's getting this kind of money and Debo hasn't gotten, Debo left out. Isn't he in Philly right now, right? Debo Samuel? Somebody went to Philly. But with this kind of contract, he may be headed to Philly as well because when it's time to pay, they won't have it. I don't believe they have enough money to be paying $1 billion in those type of contracts this early in their careers. And when I look at this team, he didn't perform in the championship. So if he would have won the championship, I think he gets every dollar that he asks for. But because he didn't win, it's definitely gonna be a come on, my nigga.
I feel Brock Purdy, man. Man, we keep it 100. I know all the owners is mad at the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson started this whole shit, Mo. You know this. They offered this nigga they guaranteed $250 million to a nigga who didn't play in a year and a half or 2 years. They set the bar mad high for a nigga. And I ain't hating on them, but this is the owners. Now they like, yo, why are you doing this? And we've been seeing it trickle down year after year, and there has only been a couple years since then. Since then, $250 million guaranteed. Then what happens? Lamar Jackson. Nah, if he getting that, he ain't even play. I'm a league MVP. I need 235, 250. Then what happens? Joe Burrow. Nah, niggas is wilding now. I need me 260, 250, 275. Nah, niggas is bugging. Then you got niggas like Trevor Lawrence. Oh, if that's what we doing, throw me 275. If that's the case, just throw me 275. Now we get the Brock Purdy like, hold on now, I've been to the chip. These niggas ain't even been to the chip. How the fuck hold the fuck on. So just so I'm correct, man, I have my computer in front of me today, but he went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And did he get to the conference finals the year before?
Championship, yep.
But he was hurt, and he got hurt the 1 year too.
Yep.
Yeah, that nigga like, nah. We giving niggas this. Nah, 360 me, my nigga. Spin around one time for a nigga, pause. Y'all are bugging because all the people we are talking about has not been to a Super Bowl. And now Lamar Jackson's a league MVP. Cool. He ain't been in no Super Bowl. He ain't been to no conference finals. I mean, whatever, the AFC championship. Well, so if we paying these, Trevor Lawrence just out of bounds, like paying him $275. Now Brock Purdy and his agents like, I don't care about the organization and the system and everything else, all that fly shit. This is what niggas is getting paid that haven't been to the Super Bowl, that haven't been to the conference championship. Nah, throw me something. I feel you, Brock Purdy. I feel you, his agent. I dig it, and I understand where Mo and Mase is coming from, but that's what the hell is going on out here. They paying these niggas wild amount of money for niggas who never even made to the Super Bowl. So I ain't knocking the nigga.
So that's his fee then. Then Killer is right. That's his fee. $325.
So the thing is, okay, so Brock Purdy deserves to be paid because he gave the 49ers such a bargain. He overperformed when Garoppolo got injured and he took forth. He brought the 49ers to the position that they needed to be at. But when we're comparing like other quarterbacks who are getting paid, like Deshaun Watson, $46 million a year, Joe Burrow and Trevor Lawrence, $55 million a year, for him to get $65 million a year per season, to me just sounds insane. Because it's like, yes, he is a top quarterback, but he's not the top quarterback. And in comparison to somebody like Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't make sense for Brock Purdy to be getting that kind of money, especially if he gets injured. I think they're putting all their eggs in one basket. So as much as I would like to see Brock Purdy get paid because he deserves it, this would kind of like make up for all the money that he didn't get. Doing this right now and locking in that much money is just entirely too much. And it's only going to keep getting higher and higher, which is why there might need to be a cap that they pay quarterbacks.
So who's getting a bargain?
the 49ers right now, because this would be his next contract
Oh.
after this season. But I mean, he's like the lowest paid quarterback out of all of them, and he is the one performing a lot better than the other, 25 teams, I would say at least. So
Brock
he
Purdy,
definitely is.
Brock Purdy 24-7, man.
Yeah.
He ain't even lose 10 games yet, bro. It's 17 games a season, and we're not even including the playoffs. The nigga got a great record. Now look, a lot of times, and I'm not disagreeing with you said, but what I'm saying is, what Maurice is saying is that niggas is attributing that to the 49er system. And they're like, if you wasn't in this system, somehow like how they'll be like, if Draymond Green wasn't in the Golden State system, he wouldn't be that good. Or certain players play good in certain systems. That's what y'all got him for, to play good in the system, right? Wasn't that the plan? Wasn't the plan to play him to play good in the system? I don't get it. I think that's where every team, when they get somebody, is supposed to play good in the system. You can't bring that up when it's time to negotiate. Well, he plays good in the system. Yeah, nigga, that was the job, to play good in the system. I ain't knocking him. Like I said, I get it, but I just can't knock him when niggas throwing that type of money around. And then when you say he's not the best quarterback, look, we know he's not the best quarterback, but he's probably, in the last 2 years, the second best quarterback that fits in a system. Is he a better quarterback than Lamar Jackson? No, they came and snatched the fucking MVP out Brock Purdy's hand last year. Now think about this. Brock Purdy was leading for MVP, him and Christian McCaffrey. Motherfucking Lamar Jackson just came up there and took that shit from them niggas. But he was in the conversation. It was him and Christian McCaffrey in the conversation for getting MVP. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, he may be the best person that fits in the system in the last 2 years. Joe Burrow is hurt. Lamar Jackson can't get it done. Who else do we talk about? Trevor Lawrence got hurt again. He doesn't, we wasn't even thinking about Jacksonville getting that far anyway. And all the other quarterbacks to be named. Dak Prescott, year after year after year. We already know with the Cowboys. He fighting for some more money now. Listen, man, Brock you gotta go to court, baby. Not real court. When I say go to court, fight, nigga. Fight, nigga. You got, nigga, if I was your agents, I have some legs to stand on. Pause.
And you know what? Go ahead, Mo.
No, I was just saying that the thing that they weighted up against, Debo Samuel got, I think, a year or two left on his contract. Christian McCaffrey only signed a 2-year deal, and Brandon Ayuk is in negotiation with his contract. And I don't even know if they have George Kittle. So you may be right with them wanting to pay him, but all these other people that make the whole system possible, all these dudes signing short contracts just to get another contract. So that goes into all this stuff too.
Right.
Yeah, but that's like Killer said, that's really not his fault. Other niggas got to get better systems because he's working within the system that you put him in. And that's what you say. If I have a system that works, I got to find players that work that system. So now you can't use the system against him because he's functioning and flourishing in that system.
And then Maurice, what do you think?
No, I agree with you. But, like when I thought about this, I thought about like when they said Tom Brady was a part of the Belichick system, and then he left that system, and as a big fuck you to the Patriots, not really the Patriots, but the Belichick, he went to go win in Tampa Bay, right? And so he proved that he was like a contributing factor to the system. But somebody like Brock Purdy, without the track record, like San Francisco may say, all right, nigga, go test the market. You know what I'm saying? We'll bring somebody else in here who can do the same simple shit that you're doing, and we'll have the money to pay everybody else. And so I'm agreeing with you. He should get paid, and he will get paid, but I'm pretty sure there's another element of gratitude from him. Like, remember, he was Mr. Irrelevant. So they probably feeling like, man, we took a shot on you, gave you a chance, it surrounded you by so many pieces. And so, I don't know, it cut both ways, but I don't see him having the confidence to leave that system knowing that that system has made so many people.
Yeah, listen, back to what you said, Tom Brady proved it's not the system for him when he went to Tampa Bay. He says, it's not the system, nigga. I'm nice like that. Wherever I go. It's not the system, Bill. That's what Tom Brady said. Because he won the first year after he left. It wasn't even like, it wasn't even no big deal. Like, nigga, I'm going to go win next year. So I don't think, don't get me wrong, he flourished in the system. But back to what you were saying, how They was like, look, we took a chance on you. Yo, y'all keep throwing in my face what y'all chose to do. Who they got? They didn't. Not only did Jimmy Garoppolo get down. Who they threw to Dallas?
Oh, what's
Um,
right? Not
the
what is
the
his
quarterback.
They threw the nigga, the Dallas.
Trey-
the young Trey
Trey-
Lance.
yeah.
Yes.
Trey
Trey
Lance.
Trey
Lance.
Lance.
And it was
Yes.
Trey Lance.
Yep.
Was it another quarterback or was it just Trey Lance and Garoppolo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So listen, right?
Yes.
What I tell niggas is like this. If you getting rid of Trey Lance, that means you see something in practice. That means you're not just like, oh, Mr. Because you're right, he is Mr. Because of his draft pick, he's Mr. Irrelevant. So you're sitting there like, you know what? Trey Lance, let's go to Dallas and we'll figure it out with him. Obviously, he was busting ass in practice for you to be like, nah, we could get something for Trey Lance because this kid is all right. You don't just get rid of Trey Lance and say, fuck it, if you don't see something in the kid. Pause.
But with Trey Lance, they also didn't really have a choice because Trey Lance was injured, and compared to others, he was considered undersized. So at that point, all they had to do was really work with Brock Purdy, and he ended up being like, somebody that they didn't expect him to be. So
See, the
got
thing
lucky with
about it is this, not to cut you off,
Yeah.
Stat. It's like saying, and you may be too young to know this, it's like saying, yo, we just got John Starks out the supermarket, which they did, just packing groceries. And then he ended up being some nice nigga on the Knicks, taking them, helping them get to
Yeah.
the championship, et cetera, and be like, yo, nigga, don't forget we got you out the supermarket. Yo, man, I'm here to do a job. I did my job. Now y'all want to throw the supermarket back in my face. Same thing like my nigga Kurt Warner. Kurt
Yeah.
Warner in the supermarket. He come get the Super Bowls, and now you want to, I'm not saying this happened to them, but now you want to throw the fact that you got him out the supermarket in his face. Bro, I was working in the grocery store, packing bags. Y'all said, I came to do some tryouts. I end up busting ass pause, and then I end up going to Super Bowl, being a Super Bowl winner. And now when I want to renegotiate, well, you was packing bags when we met you. Nigga, I won your Super Bowl. What you talking about? But I'm not discrediting your point, Stat. I'm just saying, don't blame me for doing a good job at what y'all want me to do a good job at.
Yeah, that's scouting. That's called scouting. That means you did a good job. You located the talent, and the talent produced. That is never the person's job who produced.
Okay, so let's discuss CeeDee Lamb and Jamar Chase. Both players have skipped practice apparently due to contract negotiations. Which player is more important to their franchise for long-term success? Maurice first.
I would say, and this ain't no bias towards Ohio, but Jamar Chase. And the reason I say it is that both, if you look at both of their production, CeeDee Lamb has another year more than Jamar Chase. They both are as equally as important to their team. And last year, CeeDee Lamb was overly important. He had 135 receptions, which is a lot, and 1,700 yards. But when you think about the Bengals are having trouble with T. Higgins. He's ready to get out of there. You had Joe Mixon, who was a running back. He left. And when you think about recruiting a supporting cast and where people want to live, if CeeDee Lamb leaves the Dallas Cowboys, it is a lot easier to bring a marquee player down to Dallas than it is for somebody to say, hey, man, I want to move and pack my bags to Cincinnati and go up there and play in the cold, where it's notorious of their ownership, the Brown family not paying their players, and them not really having like a history of winning a whole lot. So if I'm looking to build around Joe Burrows and I've invested all that money into this offensive line, you have to get somebody like Jamar Chase, somebody he played with in college, somebody who Joe Burrows wants. You would have to get him and imagine that you'll build around these two. This would be like your Emmitt Smith and Troy Aikman for the Cowboy or for the Bengals, knowing that it's hard to recruit guys inside this market. So I would say Jamar Chase.
Oh man, that was a good take because you kind of shared some of the things I was thinking. I would think the opposite though. I would think because they have this history of 4 years together that even without them having that practice, they still could have that continuity because they know each other. But on another note, I think Dallas, when it comes to Dak Prescott and Lamb, that this is a mess and it's been a mess, and I don't see it changing because if he's not able to practice with the guy that's going to be throwing him the ball, just like on Cincinnati, this gonna make for a terrible season because they don't always perform anyway. So they need all the help they can. I could see Joe Burrow getting back there and them turning up faster than I can if Dak and Lamb miss that camp together.
I'm going Jamar Chase. Last time Joe Burrow was healthy, they went to the Super Bowl. It's that simple for me. Dallas doesn't go to the Super Bowl. With Tony Romo, with Dak Prescott, with CeeDee Lamb, with Jerry Jones Jr., with of course Emmett Smith. What's the nigga, Ezekiel Elliott? They don't go to the Super Bowl. The last time that Joe Burrow was healthy, they went to the Super Bowl. Jamar Chase, nigga. I ain't getting all them numbers, and that was a great take, Mo. I thought it was great. Even I ain't know they wasn't paying niggas in Cincinnati like that.
No.
And that was a great point on living conditions because, look, you go to Dallas, you playing in the dome, not saying it has terrible weather like that, but you playing inside. You made some really good points. But for me, it's Super Bowls. And the last time that both these men were healthy on the field together, they went. They didn't win, but they got there. We just named a bunch of niggas getting a bunch of money that ain't never been to a Super Bowl or a conference final. Pay that nigga.
Good point. I'm going to say that I think that CeeDee Lamb is the better player, but I think Jamar Chase is more important to the Bengals team. And then rumors are saying that CeeDee Lamb wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback because we know that Justin Jefferson has that spot. Do you guys think that the Cowboys will grant that to him, or do you guys see that not happening? And I'll let Maurice go first.
No, Jerry Jones isn't paying him that much, but they kind of set themselves up. Like he had 135 receptions and 1,700 yards. Like it's hard for anybody to negotiate against him, and I see why he's asking for all this money, but I just don't see Jerry Jones making him the highest non-paid quarterback in the NFL. I just don't see it.
When I think of Jerry Jones have made a lot of horrible decisions. So this wouldn't be the first one that he's made. I could see him actually not doing it, but getting close to that number that he's looking for.
And what's the exact question, Sat?
So basically, CeeDee Lamb, it's being said that he wants to be the highest paid non-quarterback, which Justin Jefferson has that at 4 years for $140 million. Do you guys see the Cowboys granting him that or not?
Young niggas bucking, pause. niggas, they was mad niggas not showing up to practice, standing their ground. Niggas like, yo, I see what y'all did to these old niggas. Y'all ain't gonna do that to me, nigga. Fuck all that. I don't know, bro. Listen, football is it's a salary cap sport. So we have to keep that in mind. Also, it's only but so much you could pay niggas now. You got Dak about to cry about his money. Now CeeDee Lamb about to cry about his money. You got to try and work with people, and that's why so many people, and I know I'm jumping to a different sport, give Jalen Brunson the credit because he took shorties to keep the team together. Tom Brady did this for years taking shorts just to try to put the right team together, and they're very successful doing it. But, I think that these young niggas is like, look, I dig it, but I don't really know niggas like that. I know them when we get here and all that. See, it's different for Jalen Brunson. He know the niggas. He went to school with niggas, so it was kind of emotional. That's why when you see OG Anunoby, like, I didn't go to school with niggas. I need mine. It's a difference between knowing niggas and trying to make it work and being like, I'm not saying we don't need them, but I got a family to feed. Answer to me is no, though. You have to pay other people. And the thing about football players, I like what they do, but at the end of the day, they be just bucking the system. And then what happens is you under contract anyway. So you don't get right now, it's whatever, mini camp, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You don't show up to certain shit, you start getting docked. That's the way it goes. So you can sit there like, I'm not showing up to practice that. I start missing games. Because when you get paid per game, and it's not 82 games like basketball, it's not 162 games like baseball. You got 17 weeks, so your chunks of your money are going to be taken away from you when you don't show up for certain shit. That's just the way it is. So I hope they get their game on my back.
Do you remember Le'Veon earlier this year? He said that And one of the things that I'm pretty sure that he wished that he went back on and did was remember when he held out with Pittsburgh, and when he held out with Pittsburgh, they ended up sending him to the Jets. But the money that he held out for, that he was attempting to get, it basically redirected his whole career. And he probably wished that he would have stayed, and him and AB probably would have been there. And, it was a bunch of like minimal issues, but this is one of those situations. And I'll tell you this. Football players get influenced by all this money that they see going on in this basketball world, where they see guys getting paid this gargantuan amount of money and signing these ridiculous deals, and not really understanding that they do a lot of more revenue sharing in the basketball world than they do in the football world. So those are contributing factors. But anybody, and this ain't no knocks to Le'Veon. Le'Veon, my man, he's from Ohio. I love him, but I'm pretty sure he said it on record that if he could go back in that season where he held out against the Steelers and it ended up didn't working out, and then he went to the Jets, and he ended up he lost the money that he would have made that year, and then got less money going to the Jets. I'm pretty sure this is the same thing with CeeDee Lamb or any of these guys, because the owners are basically attacking these players too and saying, okay, if you want to play that game, I'm not about to let you mess it up for the entire system like they did with this quarterback market.
But Mo, on another note, do you blame them when the money is not guaranteed? Because football is a different sport when it comes to the money.
No, you're correct. It's a fine line because, basketball, you can play until you're 40 now. You can take care of yourself and all this other stuff. And of course, they've made rules to try to make football a little bit more safer and for guys not to get beat up. But, if I'm in that situation and I can leverage myself to make the max dollar, like I'm going to do it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, like the analogy that Cam made with Jalen Brunson in basketball, he knew those guys. But, football is a very selfish sport where you're trying to get everything you can, but then it's a fine line of like, okay, I don't want to be so greedy that I destruct myself or I destroy my own career by pissing people off. And then it goes from, like, I don't want to say be grateful that you're making 30, 40, $50 million when you could be making 60, but don't go overboard. That's what I'm saying.
The whole shit about it is you knew your money wasn't guaranteed when you signed the contract. Now you want to buck the system, but you knew that. Like, and then another thing, a lot of it's based off incentives. Like, I could have never played football because you sit there and you say, yo, I need 20 yards to get another 500,000. And the owner might tell the coach, don't put that nigga in the second half. Nah, don't throw that nigga in, my nigga. I'm telling you that right now, nigga. Your job on the line, you throw him in. Then you don't pass a nigga the ball and he needs 17 yards for $1 million. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, it's fucked up. Like, even I give Travis Kelce mad props. Like last year, it was, I forget what it was, 15, 20 yards to get an extra however much money. And he's like, I ain't gonna play. Because he eating, rich bitch, all that. So he could have just gotten the game and been like, yo, Andy Reid, nigga, run 2 plays for me so I could get this chicken. But he didn't even play. But that's niggas who well off. Everybody's not Travis Kelce and can't afford to do that. That sport is wild. It's a wild sport, man.
Yeah. Imagine you need 1 yard for another $1 million and the coach go like this. You know how niggas be calling the plays. Imagine how you feel with a nigga doing
or imagine you at the end of the fucking game and you need 1 yard and you like this. And you short. You mad at the ref now. It's wild, man. Y'all football niggas ill, Mo.
Yeah.
That's some ill niggas, man.
So Luau Deng responds to Paul Pierce and Gilbert Arenas' comments about South Sudan. Paul said that South Sudan likely didn't have any players over 6'3", and Gilbert went on a rant. He said a lot of things, but he said they don't even have shoes, and he kept going. So then Deng responded and said, personally, I don't care much. I would never trade places with anyone. Being African is special. However, for young African and African-American kids who admire and listen to Gilbert, these comments can make you think less of yourself and make the rest of the world think less of Africans. So after hearing that discussion and what he had to say in response to Gilbert, what did you guys think about both comments and then South Sudan's team? Maurice first.
Well, I think anybody who watches Gilbert, they take everything in context. So for me, it's a little bit different. I watch his shows and I watch all the clips on the internet. So you know how like if you've ever seen him talking, he starts smiling, giggling, and laughing like he's joking. He just he reckon. He's just throwing jokes out there. So I don't think that he was intentionally being disrespectful. There's a entertainment element to having a show and having a podcast or whatever you want to label it as. And so I didn't take it as disrespectful. But the same thing with Paul Pierce. And if you read some of Luau Ding's comments, um, he did say that he didn't take he was shocked that it was those two, but he didn't take it personal to some degree. So I don't know. I watched Gilbert, so I didn't take it as serious as some other people try to make it out to be.
What did Paul Pierce say?
He said that they most likely don't have any players over 6'3".
Well, they definitely had players over 6'3". They definitely had some tall niggas out there, man. This nigga 7'2", I think. And I agree with Mo. Gil plays a lot. The thing with Gil is like he be laughing and joking, but he be serious. I don't think he was serious about this particular situation. I think that, growing up, and I think I'm a little bit older than Gil, but this is the type of images America portray on Africans. You sit there and watch the commercial, there's flies on their face, donate 10 cents a day to feed a family, all type of shit growing up. These are the commercials that they were particularly for my age group, that you would see about Africans. And Gil, to me, was probably alluding to that. And to me, everybody's evolved. The world's evolving. We can't really say, I don't know, I've never been to Sudan, but, like a lot of these players was refugees that came back and played in other leagues. So it wasn't like it was actual people who were living in South Sudan, pardon me. And they're a young country. We talked about this on the show already. They're only 13 years old. But I don't think Gil was serious. But at the same time, if somebody's talking about Harlem and I'm from Harlem and they just joking around, I may not take it as a joke. You know what I'm saying? So I get both sides. But I know, if you know Gilbert, his page is no chill Gil. He wows out. He's a wild nigga. So that's all I have to say about it. But I get where Luau Dang's coming from. We made some comments. A lot of times people don't know we got to clean shit up here, man. You know what I'm saying? Not about South Sudan and nothing. I'm just saying in general. And I believe Gil has no filter. He doesn't care. But I don't think he was meaning that in a derogatory way. I think it was more aimed at the United States. Like, nigga, these are niggas y'all gonna get close to beating y'all? That's my opinion on it. I didn't hear either side, but just from hearing what Stat read.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where Gil was coming from when he was saying everything that he was saying, and even when he made the point of them not having shoes. He's basically saying this shouldn't have been a close game because they have a lot of things that they're catching up on. And because they're at the space and in the chronological space where they are now and trying to grow as a country, that they shouldn't have been that close as a team. Now, when it comes to Gil, wherever the line is, he's going to go past it. Anybody know Gil knows that. So when you listen to Gil, you either got to defend yourself or you got to just let it rock because that's what he's going to say. And I expect that from him. So I wouldn't have been offended by it. I expect him to say that. There's certain people and like him, Charlemagne, it's a few people that when they speak, that's their persona to go over the ledge. So you accept that.
I'm just going to add, I think that's exactly why he corrected him, because that's the persona that isn't the reality. I think especially as Americans, and that's where there's a lot of discourse, like a lot of African countries live in royalty and honestly live better than us and have things, superly prepared and like everything to a T, and they take pride in that. So even though it's a joke, and I know Gil is probably not meaning to offend or hurt anybody at all because he just says what he says and as he should, it comes across the wrong way to people who are actually associated with that. So I could definitely see why he felt like, you know what, I'm going to stick up for my people because that's not what it is. And just making that clear. Because in the media, if we keep, saying that's what it is and that's what it's not, that's frustrating if that's really not how you are. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, it is no indoor basketball courts.
Yeah. But like that doesn't mean that like
I'm just saying about South Sudan. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'm just saying let's put that into perspective as well. But you're right. It's definitely royalty. It's money. It's rich niggas out there. Yeah, absolutely right. I'm not even disagreeing with you. I'm just talking about from a basketball perspective. It's no outdoor course. I'm not saying niggas ain't got shoes and none of that. And I'm definitely not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
Is it tigers there though?
probably in the wild, just like Florida got iguanas. People don't see iguanas. I see them all the time. So
Alligators too.
Yeah. So it's just like being a little bit more like educated with it. Cause I just know how it comes across. It's just like, dang, like that's what you got to say about us. The one time you talk about us, it's like,
No, that's true. That's what I was thinking. If I'm going to Africa, that there's lions and there's tigers and all of that.
yeah, but they're not like walking up to your door. They're around. Just like an alligator. Like you lived in Florida, did an alligator ever walk up to your door?
A few times. Nah, let me stop.
I was like, hey, we got different experiences, but like I see why that could be frustrating. Okay. So we're going to go to break. When we return, we will discuss Ohio State. Don't go anywhere.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. Wanna be free. Why am I in this woman wanna be free? Hell, I don't wanna see her walk away. I wish somebody told me the rules. Disagreements let her win, then it's cool. Even when I'm right to say no.
Welcome back. Now let's get into our Underdog Fantasy picks of the day. On September 8th, the Steelers will play the Falcons. Underdog Fantasy has Kirk Cousins at 249.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Lower.
Who they playing?
The Steelers.
Steeler Nation.
Higher.
Okay. Russell Wilson is at 207.5 passing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Cam?
Low. I don't know if he's playing, if he's starting. He say he is. Who knows? Shit too early to know if he even gonna start.
For Sierra's sake, I'm gonna go higher.
Okay. Najee Harris is at 50.5 rushing yards. Do you have him higher or lower, Mase?
Who?
Najee Harris.
Higher.
All right.
Okay. Download the Underdog Fantasy app and you can make your picks too. We are joined back with our analyst, Maurice Clarett. So Ohio State has been a lot of money compared to other programs. If they don't win it all, do you guys believe it's time for them to find a new head coach in football? Maurice first.
Yeah, it's over for Ryan Day if he doesn't get it done this year. That's the talk of the town. And they've probably spent close to $20 million, and they've gotten everybody that they wanted to get. They brought the kid in from Kansas State, the quarterback. They brought in the young kid from Ole Miss. I forget his first name. It's Quinshawn Judkins, I think his first name. But they've spent all of the money that they've could. They got a bunch of returning people, and they've done everything they can for Ryan Day. And he's won a ton of games. He has a great record. But around here in Columbus, Ohio, it's two things you got to do. You got to win the Big Ten championship, along with beating Michigan, and you got to go on a national championship run. And he hasn't done a good job of beating Michigan. Harbaugh had his number for the last few years, and he's not been in contention outside of when they played Georgia for the national championship the 1 year. And so it's unacceptable. So my man, he knows he's on the hot seat. It's the talk of the town, the only conversation that people have around here. So if he doesn't win, he'll be out of here.
Yeah, I think you said a little over 21 is probably close to like 35. They spent at least 34 million in everything they're doing up at Ohio State, and to not make the playoffs to get to the bowl is just not acceptable, especially for Ohio State and the money that the alumni is putting into this. They're not a team that could just show up there, and I think when it comes to this, if he doesn't change, like you said, he got to go. And I don't think he'll even make it through the season if they're not winning. That's how much money is on the line.
Boils down to one thing. Mo alluded to it. Not only do you lose to Michigan, Michigan wins the national championship. That's a problem. If Michigan didn't win the national championship, maybe you get another year and a half, 2 years. You don't just lose to Michigan. They win it all. You out of here, nigga. I know. I lived there. You don't lose to Michigan, and then not only don't lose to Michigan, you let them win everything, nigga. And Mase ain't even live in Columbus. He right. You may not make it to the second quarter of the first game, nigga. Yo, my nigga, you got to come out early and bust ass, pause. And of course, Mo made it clearer, but I'm just going to break it down in plain form. You don't lose to Michigan, and not only don't you lose to Michigan, you don't let Michigan go be national champions. And not only did Michigan win and be national champions, niggas said, matter of fact, fuck all y'all niggas. I'm out. I'm going to the NFL. Harbaugh. He's like, I did what I had to do. Beat them Ohio State niggas. Won the national championship. Out. Fuck out of here. Now niggas is still stuck there fighting for their life, their job security, and everything else. That just can't happen in Columbus, Ohio. So I don't even know if you call it a hot seat. I don't even know what kind of seat that is, nigga. He on. Pause.
Hey. And on the topic of college football, let's discuss Colorado. So what do you guys think success looks like for Coach Prime in Colorado? And what do you think would give them a successful season? What does that look like for them? Maurice first.
I think success, I think it's two parts. I want to see Shador be in a Heisman conversation. I know that doesn't have everything to do with Coach Prime, but I do want to see that happen with Shador this year, him and Travis. But I think Coach Prime in Colorado, they have to go at least 500. You know, they have to win half of the games. And so I know that I think this is his first full year of recruiting and going into the portal and getting some guys to be in addition to what they have right now. But I think like going 500, like gradually improving from where they was at last year, to me is a success this year, right? I don't believe that he's probably gotten all of the support from NIL world and he signed a bunch of recruits that he probably wanted through the portal. I don't think that he has all those people on board yet. I still think that you have to build those over a few years. But to me, Coach Prime, you go 500 and then the year after that, you know, the expectations may go to you just actually getting inside the playoffs and the conference championship. So that's my view on what success will look like.
I think he has to be a little bit better he got to be better than 500, Mo, because in the Pac-10, if he's 500, he won't even be in the top 4. In the Pac-10, to be 500 will mean absolutely nothing. So I think he got to do more than that. I think they got to have a breakout year. I think they got to make the playoffs. They got to and look like they're trying to win a championship. Yeah, I know to win a championship will be too large, but if they're able to get looking like they're trying to move in that direction, I think that would be very great for the program. But to keep just underperforming is not going to be good for the type of bravado that Dion brings to the team and his son, and the type of NIL deals they want to continue to get. They're gonna have to show some major improvement. Not the discount that they brought in. What's that? What's his name? Warren Sapp. Mm-hmm. I almost said Marvin Sapp. They would have crucified me. Yeah, they brought in Warren Sapp, so they definitely are looking to do some better things this year.
Yeah, just because of Coach Prime and how he markets, how he talks, he talks shit. He's a marketing genius. He's one of the only person I think is a little better than me marketing. He's a marketing machine. Anything he does, they're waiting for him to fail at. So when he loses a game, you got to think about this. Last year, their first game of the year, well, who was it? TCU, Mo, I believe? I'm not
TCU.
Yeah, right.
TCU.
They were supposed to lose that game. As soon as they win, Coach Prime, get on. Do you believe now, nigga? Do you believe now? And nigga, do you believe? Do you point? You? Do you believe? And he had everybody believing. Listen, everybody was down there. And I'm not just talking about watching the game. ESPN went down there to film all the shows. FS1 went down there to film. Everybody was on the sideline. They called the Soul Train. It was crazy because he knew he's a hype machine. So when he started losing, niggas couldn't wait for him to lose. He has to have I agree with you, Mo, when it says around 500 because to expect a lot more, it may not be realistic. Especially when you got fucking Phil Knight saying the budget's unlimited. You know? I know
That's a good way to shut a nigga down.
Yeah, like I know y'all like Dion and all that, but the bank's open. do what y'all got to do. Grab what y'all got to grab, pause, and that's that. But to Mace's point, because he's Dion and because he has the hype machine behind him, if he doesn't perform, they're going to try and crucify him. But Mo, I think what you said is more realistic as opposed to what Mase said. And I'm not saying what Mase said isn't realistic. I'm just saying that what Mase is saying is right too. What he's saying is if you don't, they on your ass, pause, basically. And I don't know. So the answer, I'm just giving both sides of y'all equation. Y'all both are right. I just don't know exactly what's going to happen because he got some good recruits. He got some people who came through the portal. We just got to see. But now what's going on, all these schools are getting money. And not only getting money, you got people who, as much as you love Dion, you got people who hate him just as much. It's kind of like Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. When you sit there and go see a fight, it may be more people there to see him lose than to see him win. So I'm not sure what success will look like, but because that's my man, I would go with I would go with 500 because I don't want the expectations to be that high. You ask Dion, if we had Dion on the show right now, I call Coach Brown right now, nigga said we ain't gonna lose no games. That's what he'll tell you right now. But, we'll see what happens.
I'm just going off of what I seen last year. It was too many holes within their entire team. And to think that when you seen the lack of line play on offense and defensive line, to think that you're about to go get all those guys out of the portal and you don't have the resources that Ohio State has, the resources that Phil Knight has and all that stuff, like it's not realistic. And so the narrative that people are going to try to establish is Dion should go to the playoffs. And this ain't talk about Mase, but people want to set unrealistic expectations just so they can talk shit when he doesn't get there, right? And so I'm just establishing a different narrative to like, hey, this is reality, and you want him to have success because when they talking shit to Dion, they really talking shit to any other former player who has a persona who could basically skip the coaching line. And so that's why I root for Dion because it's more people who are former players who never get into the coaching system, and they're waiting for Dion to fail or they want him to fail so they can say, this is why you don't give niggas opportunities who have personas. They need to learn how to coach and they establish something else. So my stuff is like a little twofold into what I was saying, but hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, looking at their record, last year they were 4-8, right? So according to you guys, you're saying that they will be 6-6, right? So I'm basically saying even no matter what happened, I think they would have been 6-6 last year if nobody got hurt. So I think they can go past 6 games this year without anybody getting hurt. I'm saying more like 8-4. That's what I'm basically saying. I think that's where that will be a success for them because if Shador didn't get hurt, if Hunter didn't get hurt last year, they could have got 2 more games. Do you think that's correct, Mo?
Yeah, I didn't even take that into consideration, but 100% true. That's correct. I forgot that Travis went down for a couple games. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, so they was 4-8, so they would have at least been 6. They would have been 500 last year without the injuries. So I'm saying with no injuries, I think it may be realistic for them to go 8-4 because with no injuries, and better talent coming in this year. That's what I was saying.
Are you going to be at the games?
Yeah, I'll go to some of the games.
Just had to ask.
I'm going against Oregon. I'm going against USC. Those are the games I like to go to.
Okay. And then ahead of the upcoming season, I definitely want to discuss the status of some of these teams. Who do you guys think right now has the best and the worst team going into the season? Maurice first.
We're talking about the NFL, correct?
Yes.
So the best team, and I'm Ohio, and so I'm gonna say the Cleveland Browns. I think that we're gonna finally get something done this year. And the worst team is the Cowboys. Forever. Yeah. So I'm hoping Deshaun Watson. I'm hoping my man finally gets it right. I'm really rooting for Deshaun Watson because all the stuff that he's kind of been through up to this point. But he got a lot of people in Ohio that want him to bounce back and get his career back on line in order. And I want my man Nick Chubb to come back from injury and have success in with running the rock. But they had a phenomenal year last year. Hopefully they can build upon it and we take some more steps. And that division is exciting already. It's going to be one of the hottest divisions to watch this year. But the Cowboys and for all the people who send me direct messages, I hate the Cowboys endlessly. So with love.
Okay, since Titletown is now officially God's team, we got to leave them out of it. I'm gonna go and say Philadelphia is the best team other than us. Philadelphia, they made so many different additions that I think they're gonna be really tough to beat. And I could say Houston too. So those are my two sleepers. But the worst team, who is my worst team? I'm going with the Jets. I'm going with the Jets. Just for commentary. Where's Tito at when I need him for? The Jets.
Him.
See, the whole shit is niggas not even coming to practice. Niggas not even signed yet. Like, it's hard to even make this prediction. If we're going with all things going right and people come to practice and do what they're supposed to do, the Chiefs or the 49ers, that's what I'm going to go with. And the worst team, I'm going with the Patriots. First year without Bill Belichick, you don't know what the fuck going to happen.
Killer, you think the Patriots are worse than Charlotte?
Charlotte's bad, but at least they know they're bad. Patriots, like, you don't even know what's going to happen. Maybe, look, Patriots been bad for a few years since Tom Brady left, but Bill, look, sometimes you need a breath of fresh air. I like Robert Kraft. Like, I fuck with that nigga. We got to see exactly what's going to happen. I don't know the coach name right now off the top of my head. I don't know who the starting quarterback is. I can't name nobody. Look, Patriots was a stable. I don't know what the fuck going on with the Patriots.
Mayo.
You know they starting quarterback?
The Mayo's the coach.
They got a black
linebacker.
Yeah, what's his name?
Black coach.
Jared Mayo.
Yeah, I know you're a black nigga. That's all I got. That don't even seem like black nigga coaching the Patriots. I'm going with Patriots till further notice.
Okay. Best team, I was thinking, like you said, Chiefs versus 49ers, but the Chiefs have had so many off-season issues this year where I feel like it's going to be a problem on the field. Already in training camp, Travis Kelce got in a fight. The stuff happened with Rashee Rice, Harrison, Butker, however you say his last name, after he made this speech. Like, there's just a lot going on that they need to figure out. What? Like, that affects team chemistry.
This is a three-peat
I think
year.
it's not y'all's year. I think the 49ers are going to swoop it because y'all got too much going on that y'all got to figure out off the field to have good things happen on the field.
I think it'd be Houston before 49ers, real talk.
I don't know. Shout out to Houston. I think that they're going to significantly, get higher, but I don't think they're going to do better than the 49ers. And I think the worst team is the Panthers and probably the Broncos because now that they don't have Russell Wilson, what are they going to do with Bo Nix now? Yeah, so it's like they're going to struggle.
Sad. Steelers, what happened? What happened?
Listen, that's where my heart is, but we did a lot of offseason moves. We did more than any other team. It's definitely going to be a trial period, but I'm still, confident in our team, but I do think that the 49ers are going to take the cake. But do I think we're going to perform bad? Not at all. I think we're going to do great. I think it's going to be our year. Are we going to do better than the 49ers? I don't know. So we'll see. That's my thoughts. Okay, and then before break, really the real break, Mase, your face is saying a lot without you saying anything.
He was saying that it's gonna be y'all year, but y'all not gonna do better than other people.
Yeah, because I have to be
don't understand
realistic.
that.
I'm just realistic. When I take my feelings out of it, I'm like, okay, this is what I see. I'm still rooting for us
So
regardless.
how is it? Help me understand. How is it your
Yeah.
year, but you're not gonna be better than another team?
Because I think that we are going to make great strides in our division this
All
year.
right.
But
Okay.
do I think we're
Stat,
going
we
to be
going.
the best? I don't know. And I hope so, just so I can talk shit.
Yeah,
But I have to see what happens first. We got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm just trying to understand you.
Okay. And then before we go to break, which is really the real break, wanted to have a quick little reflection. Do you guys have a favorite moment from the season this far, or even a favorite pause moment? Maurice, I'll let you go first.
Well, I had a ton of favorite moments, man. Obviously, people seen from the beginning when we started, man. Every week I come on here smiling, I'm laughing, and I don't exaggerate, man. This is probably one of the coolest things I've done in a while. Like just genuinely being happy to get on here and talk sports. Is always cool. But one of the funniest moments I remember the first time I heard the story when they was talking about the basketball coach and going to Puerto Rico and doing the wild thing. Man, that was hilarious. I laugh every time. I remember when I first heard, I folded up laughing, and I don't remember the first time I heard it. I've heard it, since then, but that was probably like the most memorable moment. Just like whatever was going on around that story, it was hilarious, and so it's one of the more memorable moments from the last year.
The most pause moment probably with me is Le'Veon Bell. And he was overwhelmed and he sucked it into some wild shit he said. I don't fucking remember. It was wild though. It was crazy. Le'Veon, you my nigga, but that shit was kind of wild. Rich Paul, you said some real crazy shit too. A lot of guests came up here and said some wild shit. But listen, I just want to thank everybody who's supporting the show, who's been a part of the show, all the random guests that just walk by and see us and come in. From Rich Paul to Stephen A. Smith to Le'Veon Bell to Antonio Brown. Of course, we know Miss OJ this upcoming season. Everybody, man, we just want to say thank y'all. And we'll be back in like 2-3 weeks, man. I just want to tell y'all thank you so much, man. It's been a real pleasure doing this.
And shout out to AB for being on the show too at the top of the football.
Yeah, the analyst for sure. And it's definitely been a pleasure. Maurice, thank you for being here. Okay.
See you in a few weeks, man.
Yeah, that's all the time we
Yes,
have
sir.
for today. Thanks for watching. And as always, it is what it is.